Nobody cares about what you can do. They care about what you can do for them. So you have to become more valuable for others so that you never get left behind. Years ago, I left my job as a bartender and went to the blue collar industry with no experience, with no job prospects. I just knew that I needed to do something different. I spent weeks and weeks looking for an oil field job to no avail. Just couldn't find one. So one day I just decided I was gonna go to these shops. I was gonna knock on their door. Somebody would just let me skip the application process. Like that's what I had in my mind. So I went to this one location and there were no vehicles there. All there was this truck with a crane on it and a crew putting a sign up. So I stopped the guys and I asked them, made sure I'm in the right place, right? Sure enough, I was, except the building I needed to be at was clear on the other end of town. And I get in my truck, I go to leave, and this guy walks across this, like in the middle of the street, flags me down and says, "Hey, if you're looking for work, you better stop at my shop and apply." So I did. I go to his shop, I pick up an application, I go fill it out, and I come back. As I come back, he's coming in and he's just elated that I actually filled an application out. A week goes by or so. He called all my references, actually. It was interesting. I've never had a boss do that. He called all my references and I get the job. So I go in early every day and I'm staying late every day. If he decides that we have to go out of town for work on short notice, I go anyways. If it means that we're staying later or like maybe even extra days, I had a very accommodating wife. I did those things. I didn't know how to drive a crane truck when I first started there. Obviously, like I said, no experience. And if you haven't seen a crane truck, it's like 20 tons. It has like a big 60, 80, 90 foot crane that extends on it. I had to drive that thing around the yard after hours to get comfortable enough to get my commercial driver's license so that I could drive it without him. I got my electrician's license by studying when I was at home at night. You know, I did everything that I could to give. I even went to his house on some weekends to help clean manure out of some stables that he owned. I gave and I gave and I gave. I did everything that I could to be valuable to him and his company because that is all that I knew to do. Of course, I was compensated, right? Like this guy, he was giving me paychecks, right? I did get raises from time to time, like when I got my CDL or got my electrician's license. And we did get bonuses throughout the year. I had health insurance, I had the things. Like he was a beneficent employer, okay? He did his end of the thing. As time went on, a drinking problem I'd had since my teens got worse and worse. And eventually, he wasn't so accommodating. When I say accommodating, when I told him that I wanted to go to college, I told him, hey, I might have some classes that I have to take during the day. Is this possible? He worked with my schedule. Like we figured out how to make it work. He was a great, great boss. As my drinking got worse though, like I said, he wasn't so accommodating because I wasn't giving anymore. I was taking. I would take and I would take and I would take. And eventually it fractured the relationship, and it should come as no surprise that I end up losing my job. Like that's just how those things go. And you might be thinking right now, well, he was your boss, but it wasn't really like that. Like sure, he was my boss, but he was the type of guy who after work one day gave me cash to go buy clothes because my work clothes were pretty shot. He was the type of guy who took me out for breakfast before I would go to work at his house on the weekends. He was the type of guy who like genuinely cared about my well-being beyond just the fact that I was his employee. Like that's the reality. He was that type of guy. Or you might be thinking, well, it was the drinking problem. And you'd be right. Like you would be right, because a drinking problem does one thing. It makes us less valuable to the people around us. And I want you to think about the relationship with a boss, or any relationship for that matter. Isn't it just an exchange of value? You know, whether it's your family, whether it's a friend, whether it's a boss, a relationship is this energetic exchange. So I had gotten to the point where I wasn't giving anymore. I wasn't doing anything for him. And that's just the way these things go. So what do we do if we find ourselves in a position where we don't feel valuable to other people? Here are the 3 things that I would do if I felt like I needed to become more valuable to the world around me. The first thing that I would do, the very first thing that I would do, is I would find something that I'm already capable of doing, like something I'm maybe doing already. I would do that. I wouldn't do what I did. Like, don't just leave a job that has this like specific skill set to go try to do something completely different. Like maybe stay in a lane that you have for the time being. This isn't a time for a moonshot. You could do that stuff later. Like don't develop a new skill. So find something that you're already capable of. And the second thing that I would do, I would figure out how to get better at it. How do you make that skill more valuable? Do you maybe need to take a class? Is there an online course that you could buy that would help you get better at it? Do you need more resources? Do you need more time? Maybe you just need to spend more time doing it. What does it actually look like to improve whatever this is so that it's more valuable to other people? And the third thing is, I would take immediate action. I would act like right now. Like don't put this off until tomorrow. I wouldn't put this off for a week or a month because I know myself well enough that if I put this off right now, probably going to put it off indefinitely. Like I have an entire, I don't have them anymore, but I had a mountain of to-do lists over my lifetime where I never did anything. A mountain of like really good ideas that never went anywhere. Not because they were bad ideas, but because I didn't do anything with them. It just wasn't something I ever acted on. So I would say to take action now. If you are trying to be more valuable to people and you're trying to get it into their hands, you can use the link in my description to go ahead and grab my Funnel Quick Launch course that will help you take your value and put it into the hands of your audience. And I have to ask you, what is one thing that you can act on today to make yourself more valuable to others?